You know, folks, this absolutely may be the most ridiculous video that I've ever done. I can't believe I'm about to cover this story. If we were making a Mount Rushmore of the most ridiculous stories that I've covered here on the channel, this one would have to be in the top four. I really believe it. And I'm trying to think about all the other ridiculous stuff that I've covered, but this one is up there when I stop and really think about it. So do y'all remember the 60 Minutes interview with Kamala Harris that was slightly edited for time like every other interview has ever been done? And Donald Trump kicked up a fuss and filed lawsuits. He's still going on about that, folks. And now, brace yourself. His lawyer says that Donald Trump suffered mental anguish. He suffered mental anguish because of this edited Kamala Harris interview. The leader of the free world, the man that's supposed to be in charge of everything, suffered mental anguish from an edited interview. Now, I just want to go back and think about all of the people for a minute whose careers were ended for so much less. Like Dan Quayle for putting the E on the end of the potato. They said that he would never be taken seriously again, and he wasn't. That was the end of his career. And Howard Dean, remember that guy that was running as a Democrat back in '04? I actually thought he might take the lead. I thought he might beat out John Kerry. He was really coming up in it. And he was just talking to his crowd, trying to get them all worked up about winning the next primary. And he just screamed at the end and pumped his fist, and everybody said, oh, he lacks the temperament. He lacks the temperament to be president. And I'm sure there are so many things down through the years that people was fired over, or it was the end of their career because someone said, well, they lack the temperament. Well, John Kerry used the F word. I remember that one. And they said, is that really what we want around our children? It's so ridiculous that this man is sitting here saying he suffered mental anguish over an edited video, and you think that guy is fit to be the commander-in-chief? You really think that that guy should have our nuclear codes? We all know what he did with them last time, but I'm just saying, you think this should be the guy that's got his finger on the buttons? A guy who is so fragile. His ego is so fragile, and he's so weak, and he's such a big pussy. Let's just say it. That an interview gets under his skin? How's he going to sit down with anybody and work out a deal if an interview got under his skin? How would he ever sit down with these dictators? Well, we know the answer to that. He'll sit down and kiss their ass. He'll sit down and buddy up with them, and they'll sit there and play him like a fiddle because they realize what type of person he is. How do you think this looks to them? How do you think that people like Vladimir Putin just sitting back going, oh, really? An edited interview got under his skin? Well, I can have my day with this dude. I can't believe that we live in a world where this is a real headline and where a president is taking time out of his day to go after an interview. He won the damn election. He's got immunity. He can do anything he wants to do. He's got the Supreme Court. He's got the Senate. He's got the House. Just do your thing, dude. You got it. But you're going to sit there and whine and complain about an interview? And then I'm supposed to suddenly feel like sorry for you. Like I'm supposed to feel like, oh, he has mental anguish. It's one of the most ridiculous things that I truly have ever heard. And I don't know how anyone out there who considers himself a strong man or considers himself a tough guy could actually back a dude that's that weak and that fragile. And can you imagine if he had lost again? Can you imagine what he would be saying now? People says to me all the time, well, Brando, you know, the thing about him being back in office, you'll have plenty of content. Listen, as long as that man is on this planet, there'll be plenty to talk about because he will never shut up. If you think Donald Trump is ever going to go quiet, if you think he's ever going to take the high road and go a different direction, no, you're wrong. This man will never stop running his mouth. He will never stop being the victim because MAGA is the party of victimhood. The Republican Party used to be about pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. That's gone. That don't exist anymore. Now it's all about how can we be the victims in the story? How can we pretend like that we're the ones who the government is being weaponized against us? We're being persecuted. It's so ridiculous to me when I hear people, especially in my part of the world, talk about being persecuted. I'm like, really? Okay, so you're a middle-aged white dude. You go to church every Sunday, and you vote for Donald Trump. So where exactly do you go that you see something that offends you in East Tennessee? I'm just curious about that. I've been waiting for that answer for years and nobody can give it to me. Because on the other hand, you take me, for example, I am a progressive, I'm a liberal who's voted Democrat my entire life, and I'm agnostic, pretty much atheist if we're going to split hairs, okay? So everywhere I go, I see something I don't agree with. And guess what I do? I just keep walking. I deal with it. I've learned to live with it. I go on. I go to the flea market like everybody else. I pass by all the garbage shit they got. with Trump's name all over it and his face all over everything, I keep walking. I drive by church signs that says some of the most ridiculous stuff you've ever seen on it. I keep on walking. I find something else to worry about. I'm over here worried about us all having, I would love to see us all have universal health care. I would like to see people paid a living wage. I'm man enough to walk past a sign that I disagree with and keep on walking because I feel like there's bigger issues out there for us to be talking about. So I just see those things and I let it roll off of me. But to all the people, it's like, we're just having it forced down our throat everywhere we go. Where the hell are you going? Because I have never one time walked into Walmart and saw a big cardboard cutout of George Carlin and a caption that said, "Religion is bullshit." I have never seen a Christopher Hitchens display from the ground to the floor that says God is great, how God is not great, how religion poisons everything. I've never seen any of that. But I sure have seen plenty of Billy and Franklin Graham bullshit and Joel Osteen and that Joyce woman. I've seen their shit. I've seen the Duck Dynasty dude, and I'm not going to talk bad of the dead, but I didn't have nothing good to say about him when he was here. As a matter of fact, I was kind of roasting him a couple of days before he died. I'm not really sorry, but you'll see those people everywhere pushing their bullshit out into the world. But if anyone ever walks in the South, if you ever walk into a store and you see a big, cardboard cutout of Bill Hicks saying it's just a ride, let me know, and I'll get back with you. Because I remember one time, a friend of mine was like, "Man, these atheists are just forcing shit down our throat. There's billboards everywhere." Where in East Tennessee and Southeast Kentucky does this exist? Of course, he couldn't find them. But on the way to the gig, we drove just a 30-minute drive. We probably drove by 15 or 20 signs that was completely conservative and right in his face. But he didn't look over and ever consider that, hey, maybe this kind of gets under Brando's skin. I've just learned how to deal with it because we've got bigger issues. And if Donald Trump truly believes that immigrants coming across the border is the biggest problem we face, all the criminals and all the gangsters and all the violence, and we have to get the price of eggs down and we have to do all these things that he said he was going to do, groceries, an old-fashioned word that's never been used before. I brought back the word groceries. If he's really going to get focused on all that shit, then shouldn't he be focused on all that shit instead of being a little bitch and whining over an edited interview? How can anyone take this dude seriously? I would literally be embarrassed. At this point, I don't guess they would be embarrassed. They went this far with it. If you're still hanging with Donald Trump at this point in the game, or if somewhere along the way he won you over in the middle of this bullshit, I'll never get it. But what I started to say was I would be embarrassed if I looked over at a candidate and they said, if Kamala Harris had have said, "I can't take it because there's an edited interview of Trump," which, by the way, there was edited interviews from him. There's been a bunch of them. There was the one where he said he wouldn't release the Epstein files. Remember that one? Yeah. They've edited plenty of his. And they have to because he's got nothing but diarrhea of the mouth. So, if you're out there supporting Donald Trump or you're thinking, well, it ain't that bad, they're kind of all the same, name me somebody else that whined like a little bitch over an edited interview, took time out of their day to step away from their important work they were doing, making America great again, to whine over an interview and say that it caused them mental anguish. It's truly laughable, and it's truly disgusting that people still takes anything this guy says seriously. But I truly do appreciate you all for taking me serious enough to follow me here on YouTube and hitting that subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything. I have people ask me from time to time, does it cost anything to subscribe? No, it doesn't. But if you hit that button, you'll help us get to 800,000, and we'll cruise on toward 1 million, which I do believe we'll get before the end of the year. And at least that's the goal anyway. We'll try to get there. If you ever do want to throw a few bucks, though, we do have members only here on YouTube, and we also have a Patreon. It's in the description. The link is in the description of this video. Over there, I take a break from a lot of stuff, and we talk about other things. I'll review albums, and I'll sit and do my Mount Rushmores of bands from the '60s, and talk about Charles Manson documentaries to take our mind off the fact that the country's circling the drain. Things like that. We try to break it up a little bit over there and have a good time with it. So if you ever get a chance, check it out. And I truly do appreciate each and every one of you for hanging with me. I've had things in my life cause me mental anguish. A lot of things cause me mental anguish. But I can't say an edited interview has ever been one of them.